The Kansas City Chiefs are advancing to Super Bowl 59 down in New Orleans after taking down the Buffalo Bills in the 2025 AFC Championship game by the final score of 32-29. And with this win, the Chiefs are trying to do something that has never been done in NFL history, and that's three-peat. You guys are listening to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and once again, I am joined by Josh Fan of ShowMeFootball.com, and we are going to just break down what we saw last night unfold before our very eyes. Because, Josh, the Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl, and I want to get your thoughts on this game because so much happened, and I'm sure we could talk about this for days, and we probably will. But what initially sticks out to you about this Chiefs win?
Man, the fact that we pretty much nailed the preview for this game.
We did.
And just about everything we said was going to happen happened. That's what stands out to me. But also the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs are one step closer to making history, and that is completing the three-peat. It feels like it's becoming real now that they could actually do this. The unthinkable, to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. But they also made history last night. Patrick Mahomes became the first quarterback to ever be 4-0 versus another quarterback in the postseason. And the Chiefs are the only team to go to 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. And I just think, we should not take this run for granted. And I know we've said that before, but last night was just yet another moment to make you grateful for this run that the Chiefs are on right now.
I had the privilege of going to this game. I'm sure that most of you have seen the post-game show and also just my thoughts on the field afterward. And I look over and I talk to my coworker. I was like, we are working for the Chiefs during the greatest era that has ever happened in NFL history. And I think the Chiefs are one win away from doing something that has never really been done before. And you could make the argument that this is the greatest sports run in sports history. To do this in the NFL where it's never been done before, I think you have that argument. And the Chiefs are one win away from doing that. And they beat a very good Bills team that really gave them a lot of fits. Josh Allen, who is an MVP candidate this year, he came into Arrowhead Stadium and he got his. He was able to find multiple receivers and just kill this team downfield. James Cook ran the ball extremely well, and it felt like at times that this Bills offense was going to be too much. But in the late minutes of the fourth quarter, with time winding down, it was 4th and 5, and the Bills needed to get a first down to extend the game because they were down 32-29. And the Chiefs sent all-out blitz. They pressured from that left side. Trent McDuffie blitzed, and they were able to disrupt Josh Allen, who threw up a prayer to Dalton Kincaid, who dropped the ball, and the Chiefs took over, and they ended up getting 2 first downs to ice this game. Samaje Perine, the most unlikely hero, caught that pass on 3rd and 9 and turned it upfield and got the first down, and the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. And Josh, that final 3 minutes of gameplay we are going to talk about for the rest of our lives. What were your thoughts on just how this game ended? The defense stepping up and also seeing the offense convert on those final 2 drives or that final drive.
Sure. You could say final 2 drives because, at least they came up with points on the one before. Now it was 3 and not 7. So I'll start there because I thought at that point, and the play that really killed that drive, was Mike Caliendo getting blown up by Jordan Phillips and being able to sack Patrick Mahomes. And then the very next play, Patrick Mahomes basically runs out of bounds for no loss, no gain. And the Chiefs had to kick a field goal. It was the obvious choice there, but I thought for sure, Michael, when that happened, oh no, you only score 3. The Buffalo Bills are for sure getting 7 here. No way Josh Allen screws this up. This is his shot. This is what he asked for, to have a chance at the end, get the ball last, drain the clock so that the Chiefs don't have a chance to respond. You go and you score a touchdown and win. And that's what I thought was going to happen, honestly. In that moment, that's what I thought was going to happen. But when the Chiefs really needed that one last stop, Steve Spagnuolo drew up probably the greatest pressure, the greatest blitz you've ever seen and we talked about this on my channel, he lines Chris Jones up at defensive end on the right side. Josh Allen immediately runs away from Chris Jones right into where the invisible pressure was coming from, where he had a bunch of guys led by George Karlaftis coming at him, and George Karlaftis forces the prayer throw, and Kincaid had a chance at it, and he really should have never had a chance at it. I wish the Chiefs
No.
DBs had better ball skills, but I've said that for years.
Yeah.
But look, when they needed to stop, they got it, and then of course, man, they needed another first down after that. And I didn't really have a lot of doubt that they wouldn't get a first down after that. But here they were in a 3rd and 9 situation, and I really wasn't that nervous. But man, I still was just as shocked whenever they went to Samaje Perine for that last first down to ice it. A guy who hadn't touched the ball all game leading up to that moment. And we talked about this on my channel just before, but like that was not an easy play. And it looked so easy though, but that was not an easy play.
No, like that was not an easy play. And to go to him in that moment just shows you how much trust the Chiefs have in all of their offensive pieces, because, the I guess a couple plays beforehand, Isaiah Pacheco got that first down. So like they went to 2 guys that really haven't gotten a lot of, run in this postseason, and it didn't matter. Like they made plays when they were called upon. And I think that's just so special that you could go to anybody on this offense or defense. Someone's going to step up and make a play. And to go back to that 4th and 5 blitz, Spags did something that we're going to study for a long time, because he basically duped Josh Allen the entire game of thinking when the defensive line is lined up on this side of the protection, go this way. And so when Trent McDuffie ended up meeting him on that blitz, it was like he just ran right into it, because the Chiefs had disguised that all game. And it just goes to show you how great Spags is at, dialing up the perfect amount of pressure at the right time. And that was the difference in this game. But Josh, I think that there were 4 plays the Chiefs made in this game that gave them this win. The 2-point conversions, those 2 times where the Buffalo Bills went for 2 and was denied by this defense, those were massive. The play on 4th and 1 where the Chiefs defense stopped Josh Allen from quarterback sneaking and getting that first down. That was the 3rd big play in this game. And of course, the biggest play in the game was that 4th and 5 stop where Josh Allen threw up a prayer. It almost was answered, but Dalton Kincaid could not grab it. So it's just like the Chiefs made the right plays on defense. Those 4 plays were the biggest, difference maker in this game. Those 2-point conversions that got denied, that's a 4-point swing. And Josh, they lost by 3. So if they would have just converted, one of those, we maybe have a very different game.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the real turning point was when the Chiefs were able to get that 4th down stop on Josh Allen. And I know that people are in an uproar this morning saying he got the first down, but I don't think you can definitively say that. There's just not enough evidence to support it, which is why the Chiefs ended up getting possession there, was because the call on the field that they came to was that he did not get it. There had to be discernible evidence on replay review that he did get it, and you couldn't see where the ball was. And, I think in that situation, if you can't clearly tell that he got the first down whenever it was 4th and 1 and they tried to do the tush push, then, the defense, they're going to get the benefit of the doubt there. And that's what happened. And I think they made the right call. But that was the turning point in this game, because after that, the Chiefs went up 29-22. In the 2-point conversion to Justin Watson. I mean, and that was a very underrated play, because the Chiefs really needed that 2-point conversion, because otherwise Buffalo would have only needed a field goal to respond at the end there. And they could have won on a field goal because the Chiefs would have only been up 2. But to get that 2-point conversion, or they would have only been up 1 actually, because, or my math is not.
If they would have gotten the touchdown and kicked the extra point, it would have been 28-22, which means that, if they would have scored a touchdown and an extra point, they win the game.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just would have been a lot easier for Buffalo. There would have been a much easier path to victory. And so, and that 2-point conversion play for Kansas City, man, I mean, Mahomes, he kind of double clutched it, looked off the linebacker, and then went to Justin Watson in the back of the end zone. I feel like we've seen that play in the end zone several times before as well, to Justin Watson. And I don't even think he had a target out in this game outside of that. But
no.
The Chiefs just putting trust in guys, it just pays off for them. And they always have guys ready to go, ready to execute whenever they need them. And it's not always the same player. And I think that's what makes this Chiefs offense so dangerous, even though it's not what it was back in 2018, 2019. It's just evolved so much because they can kill you in so many different ways. And all we asked for was the Chiefs defense to give the offense a chance in this game. And the goal was to crack 30 points. The Chiefs did that, and that's why they're going to Super Bowl 59.
Yeah, we were talking all week. The magic number was like north of 30. They scored 32 and they won the game. The Chiefs defense gave them an opportunity to win, and the offense with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid calling the plays, they were not going to miss that chance. Like, they were going to get the first down. They were going to win this game. And I really want to highlight some offensive players that I thought played really well in this game. Kareem Hunt running the football. He looked fantastic. He got in the end zone on the first drive of the game. You saw Xavier Worthy have the best game of his young career. He had 85 yards and a touchdown in this game where he leaped towards the pylon and got in against, the team that could have drafted him last year at the end of the first round. They traded the Chiefs the pick, and he ended up biting them in a big way in this game. And also, Patrick Mahomes, man, we know how good he is, but I really want to state how critical it was that he beat the Buffalo Bills with his legs. He had those 2 rushing touchdowns, one of which was a designed QB run that I was just in awe with, that Andy Reid called that up in that position. He had Noah Gray come out as a blocker. They got great blocking in front of him, and Patrick Mahomes just went for it. And it shows you that he can kill you in so many ways. And Josh, I said this on your video, Patrick Mahomes beat Josh Allen by playing his football style better than he did. Josh Allen did not get in the end zone yesterday with his legs. Patrick Mahomes did twice, and it proved to be the difference in this game.
Yeah, and I mean, so Bills offensive lineman Osiris Torrance talked about this after the game, how there was stuff that the Chiefs pulled out that they didn't see once on film when breaking down the Kansas City Chiefs for this matchup. And that's kind of what we expected, was that the Chiefs were going to have some new wrinkles, and they did go up a level offensively. Now, it was not the explosion, really, that everyone was kind of wanting to insinuate that the Chiefs were capable of. It's not like we saw a bunch of deep passes, but it was just the creativity and like pulling out a Patrick Mahomes designed run. That's just stuff that, you don't see the Chiefs do in the regular season. And also in the third quarter, they went for it on 4th down in their own territory, 4th and 1. And that's just really something that in the regular season, it's like Andy Reid would have punted there, but that ended up being huge for them because the Kansas City Chiefs would later go on to score on that drive.
Yeah, no, they really were aggressive offensively. And I love that QB run. Like, that's the kind of play call.
The option is so dangerous with Patrick Mahomes, like whether he's going to throw, whether he's going to run, because he has just enough speed and athleticism to beat you on the ground. And he just always seems to make the right decision. But also, like, of course, you have to respect his ability to throw.
And that's the kind of aggressive play call that we don't see in the regular season. And so I thought Andy Reid was a genius for dialing that up. But, we talked about Kareem Hunt, Xavier Worthy, Patrick Mahomes. I thought a guy that was very surprising in this game, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about him because he only had 2 catches. Juju Smith-Schuster, man, 2 catches, 60 yards. They were big in this game. Like, who would have thought that Juju Smith-Schuster, after being outright cut by the Patriots, would come into this team and make big plays in an AFC championship game in 2025?
And see, this is why I'm so glad that they brought him back, because, a lot of people were kind of skeptical, like, oh, cool, we signed the corpse of Juju Smith-Schuster, but, he's still capable. He's serviceable, but he's, like, capable of, having 2 catches for 40 yards, and, like, that's something that, like, a Sky Moore is not bringing you at this point, or even, I hate to say it, D-Hop. Really. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster has more receiving yards in the postseason this year than DeAndre Hopkins, and I don't think most people have that on their bingo card.
But honestly, I think that's okay because of the way
I'm not saying that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing. I mean, this is why you bring back Juju and like the familiarity, and it was very clear when Juju was here for the 2022 Super Bowl that he had a chemistry with Mahomes, and like he understood, how to play in this offense and what spot to be in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that, you mentioned it, that we're starting to see this offense click. Now, it's not the big explosive plays, but it's that efficient, slow burn that just kills other teams' defenses. And I think it's really cool to watch. Like yesterday in that game, they could move the ball on that Buffalo defense. And granted, they did have their fair share of injuries. They didn't have their starting safety, Taylor Rapp. And then their cornerback, Christian Benford, ended up getting really banged up. He got carted off the field with that concussion injury. Not a good look. And Josh, I kind of want you to spill your theory on what should happen to the Bills for playing Benford.
Yeah, I think they should. I mean, I've been vocal about this since during the game when it happened, but like, I think they should be investigated because you cannot tell me that guy passed concussion protocol. I mean, literally the first bit of contact in that game and he was out cold. Like, you cannot tell me that guy passed concussion protocol. And the personal reasons for being out of practice on Friday, I think was the Bills sending him home and saying, like, we'd rather you take this time to rest instead of being at practice so that your concussion is healed up and you're ready to go for this game. And I think they just really tried to rush him back because they knew how important he was. And I just think it was downright irresponsible.
And talk about player safety, something the NFL is just so adamant about. And then they let the Buffalo Bills do this. And that's not a good look. You know, prayers up for Benford. This is a guy that
he did post on Instagram earlier today saying he was okay. Yeah.
Okay. It's very scary, Josh. They buckled him into the cart. And I can't even remember a time where they had to do that to a player. He was basically out. And so, the Bills might have some questions to answer. But I feel like you saw the Chiefs offense really take advantage of that Bills defense. You know, Elam, their cornerback, who they drafted after the Chiefs got McDuffie a couple of years ago, they picked on him. DeMar Hamlin got, exposed on a couple plays where Patrick Mahomes ended up running into him in the end zone. Yeah. They were able to really, pick on that secondary. They had a rookie Cole Bishop starting in this game. The Chiefs did exactly what they should have done against a defense that was not up to the challenge of stopping them. And so I feel like we need to give our praises to this offense and specifically Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes for attacking the weaknesses of this Bills team. And that's exactly what they did because, Josh, if they did not score 32 points, they were not going to win this football game.
Yeah, I mean, they just had to break that 30-point threshold. We said it in the preview, and we said that, Josh Allen and this offense was going to get theirs no matter how good the Chiefs defense was. Josh Allen was kind of inevitable, and that's why I always said that you need to score 30 in order to win this game because, I mean, Spags did what he needed to at the end, and I think it was really smart for him to kind of hide his best for last, but it was not a great game defensively. I mean, did they force a single punt? It had to only have been like
they
one.
They did get one. I know they got one, but it was very early. It was actually, the first possession of the game, I believe, because then the Chiefs went down the field to score. So, but it's just not going to be good enough. Did Philly drop 50 in that game? I didn't get to watch all of it, but
I think they did drop 50. Yeah.
They absolutely smoked the Commanders. And that's something that the Chiefs defense is going to have to rise to the challenge and then, play them in 2 weeks. But Josh, I feel like we've talked about this game enough for this video. We are going to talk about it, break it down, and just discuss the events that transpired in this game probably for the next couple of days because the Chiefs just, won the AFC Championship game. They're going to the Super Bowl. We can talk about this for however long we want to, but I want you to tell me, Josh, the emotions, the thoughts going through your head when the Chiefs got that 4th and 5 stop, and then also when P. Ryan got that first down.
When they got the 4th down stop, well, so I was jumping up and down when I saw like the ball fell incomplete. But for a second before, I was like, where's the ball? Okay, it's on the ground, incomplete. And then there was a flag, but then there wasn't a flag. And I was like, hold on a second. Okay, cool. We got it. And then, of course, the game wasn't over yet, but after that, I kind of felt I felt like they had won the game after the 4th down stop. I just thought, no way, they're not getting a first down here. And I knew that they were going to pull out a huge play in order to get a first down there. And you could just kind of tell, when they started showing Josh Allen on the sidelines, like he knew the game was over, even before the Chiefs got the first down. And the Bills defense was gassed. They were deflated. It was over.
They knew it was over too, Josh. And my reaction, I was standing, in the lower level of Arrowhead Stadium with a couple of my coworkers. When they got that 4th and 5 stop, we all knew the severity of the moment. We all knew, what was at stake. We were screaming our bloody heads off. And then once Josh Allen threw that prayer that ended up going incomplete, I just remember jumping up and down, hugging my coworkers, like hugging random people. I had no idea who they were, like high-fiving everybody, like just pure joy. It kind of felt like I was, high on life because the Chiefs went out there and beat arguably the best team in football to go to their 3rd consecutive Super Bowl. And it's just like that feeling will never leave my mind. And I'll hold on to that until the day that I die. So I feel like we were just so blessed not only watch this Chiefs team, but cover them during the best point in their franchise's history. And Josh, we're going to have a ton more coverage in the next 2 weeks because the Chiefs are going to New Orleans and they're going to play the Eagles. And so we're going to have, coverage for the next 2 weeks. But with that being said, Josh, we're going to end this video right here. I want you to tell everybody where they can find your stuff.
You can find me here on YouTube, Show Me Football. That's the channel name. Check out my work, showmefootball.com, arrowheadaddict.com, and then last but not least, follow me on Twitter at ShowMeFB.
And guys, all of that stuff will be linked in the description of this video. Hit that like button on this video and subscribe to this channel for more daily Chiefs coverage. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video. And as always, go Chiefs.